we're just now able to bring it to you, but we've been monitoring it for a while now, and as you can see here, it's pretty incredible. We're not exactly sure how or why.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
All right. Hope you patriots out there kicking ass, taking names. Welcome to the party, the PatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot. Coming to you live from the Wolf Den, folks. Thank you for the prayers. I was extremely under the weather last night and obviously all yesterday. I'm still working through it, and good to see everybody. So, unfortunately, last night had to be a replay just due to what I was dealing with. But it's all good in the hood. It rarely happens, but hey, I'll take it. I'm human. So there you go on that. So we got an action-packed show, obviously going into, this different era of, if you want to call it another awakening taking place. Everyone is becoming massively awake right now. Let us know where you are watching us from. I see Alabama right off the bat. There's Texas. You guys come in drones. Y'all little ones gang up. You big ones line up. That's what Warren always used to say. I thought it was always funny. Newport, Kentucky's in the house. Here's another Texas. That's right. Connecticut, good to have you. I know people are like, Chaz, you're lazy for doing a replay. No, motherfreaker, I was sick in the bed. Baruco Dogs, Georgia in the house. Alabama, Connecticut, North Carolina, Florida, Minnesota, Jersey. I see you. Coming in all over the place. Y'all over there in Instagram, I think y'all afraid to comment, so it's all good. Right? Wisconsin's in the house. Texas again is in the house. Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Alabama, because they say Alabama. Right? Waiting for the RV. That's a state. Saying Rumble is not working. Let me know over there in Rumble if it's working. Give me a 5x5 for those that are over there. Make sure Patriot. Let's see here. Is this well? Just checking here real quick. I'm making sure before I bring Dallas on. Yeah. What's going on there? All right, cool. Awesome. Got my answers. Let me go ahead and bring Dallas in real quick. There you go. Not really real quick, but what's up?
Hey, man. How are you?
Oh, I feel better. I was dealing with the crud, man.
Good. Yeah. I've rested a little bit this morning. I told you the same thing. I got sick in the last 12 hours. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh, what is this?
I'm going to tell you right now what they're doing. We're going to be talking about this, by the way, but you need to get you some of the Roots brands clean slates. You can go and obviously go to rootsbrand.com /
This stuff right here.
Yep. Dallas PPN or PPN, but you can do Dallas PPN on that. It works because it would have been a heck of a lot worse if I didn't. See, that's one thing I've noticed. I don't get sick often, hardly ever. And, I really don't go out in public much, hardly ever. Okay. Outside of I'm finally actually started going back to a full-fledged gym and being around people in the early morning. And it's amazing to me, man, how many people are shedding. I mean, it's just when you're not around people. And I'll never forget it. Jennifer would come off, get off work because she's been around, people that have taken the COVID-19 bioweapon. And I would never be around anybody but immediate family, my son, Jennifer. That's it. Yeah. And it would bring me down for a couple of days of her, and because it shed on her and then it sheds on us, just like our fur babies. We have the hardest time ever being able to find. I don't know if anybody can relate with this, because our fur babies are what? An extension of our family, okay? And you wouldn't want to have them get the COVID-19 vaccine. And guess what happens? They make it into all these rabies shots and all this other stuff. And then guess what the dogs and your fur babies do with you? Shed all over you, get you sick. Trying to find a holistic, all I'm saying is this. Wait till what you're about to see. It's going to compound and with what you brought up early on, Dallas, about the ticks, and unfortunately we're getting kind of used to it, to where people just lose their freaking mind thinking it's not true, or, and again, this is a disclaimer, guys. Listen, we're never going to tell you something we can't back up. Never. Okay. We're here to do just like everyone's trying to get their truths out. Well, here's the difference. We've been pretty much dead on course the whole freaking time. Go look at our track record. Again, we're saying that very humbly, and we're saying it also that, hey, guess what? We've got a success track and it's working out. And some people get upset about it. There's no reason why to get upset. We're trying to take you out of the matrix, not allow you to play and break dance into it, okay? We want to bring you out. This is the Great Awakening. And in Dallas, the awakening it is, brother. The awakening it is. You feel it? You feel how many people, so many people are awakening left and right. I can only imagine from your perspective.
Yeah. It's, I believe that God talks to me mostly in affirmations, right? Like I'll have a thought, or not so much dreams. I don't dream very much, but I'll have a thought, or I'll be pondering something, and I'll get an answer, right? And sometimes it's not audible. I've never heard God say, Dallas, this is the answer, but it'll be like an audible thought in my head, right? And then I'll be driving down the road, and there'll be a billboard with the exact phrase, the exact words, like verbatim. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I'll be talking to a friend, completely unrelated, and the same thing will be said, right? I don't know about you, Chaz, but like I will get the same message show up in my life now. Like in the past, it would be like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, okay, God, I get it, right? Like, okay, same words, or a song would come on, have the exact same words that I heard in my head or something. Now, Chaz, it's like 40 or 50 times a day. like, okay, God, I got it. But to your point, the sentence that you just said, like, the Great Awakening is happening right now, and there is there is a shift or a transformation or an evolution. I don't know really how to describe it or how to explain it, because I've heard all different versions, but there is a transition happening right now amongst a huge portion of the population, and I mean the world, like not just the United States, the world. And it is faith-based. It is. I don't believe in religion, right? I believe in faith, because denominations, demon, right? I mean, you've talked about this from the very beginning, how they use our language against us and our words against us. But there is absolutely 100% a shift happening, and it is getting more and more intense. You have the people that really follow the Schumann resonance. You have the people that really follow the magnetic, poles and the north, the North Pole shifting and things like that. There's an absolute shift taking place, and every day I get more and more confirmation of that fact. And I'll see a reel, or I'll read an article, or I'll stumble across an article from 10 years ago, and I'm just like, holy guacamole, right? But yeah, man, I agree. What scares me, and I had this conversation yesterday with somebody, is there are still a whole lot of people within this movement, right? And I don't, but this truther awakening, matrix, breaking out of the matrix movement, they still don't get it, right? They still are stuck in this poverty mindset, or this lacking mindset. When the money comes, in the RV or however it's going to manifest itself, there are going to be more people that still screw up and waste their money and are worse off than there are that aren't. And I've been preaching that from that's the whole reason that you and I even ever started talking all those years ago, was I wanted to help people have a plan for when this money came, however it comes, right? Whether it's getting our income tax back, whether it's getting our back taxes back, or back interest back, or Nasara and Jasara and Wealth for All, or the RV with the currencies and the bonds and all that stuff. However the money came, I wanted to help people just have a plan and be smart with this money. And Chaz, I am telling you, and the people are like, oh, it's not me. I'm not talking about you, right? But there are people within these movements and these groups that I'm connected to all over the world that still don't get it. They're still putting like contracts down to buy a multi-million-dollar mansion, and when they don't have no money, like the money hasn't hit, but yet they're still putting money down and putting these contracts out like they got all this money, and that's the first thing they're going to do is go buy a big old house, right? It's kind of like, and somebody brought this up to me the other night, it's kind of like all the mega church pastors that, instead of getting together and feeding all the homeless and all the starving, which they probably could eradicate if they all came together and worked as a unified group, right? But they go buy a bigger house, or house number 3, right? And there are still people within this movement, Chaz, that is their first purchase, is going to be a giant house, for no reason other than they think it will give them status, or it will make them feel better, and that's kind of the frustrating part. The people that get mad at you and I when we present something that's contrary to what somebody else is saying or what they have been led to believe up to this point, and they just absolutely lose their mind and can't even open their mind to just an alternative thought. Like I don't ever want to change anybody's mind, Chaz. I just tell you what I believe to be true. And if it resonates with you and you're like, yeah, that's how I feel, then cool. If it doesn't, cool, right? I mean, I watched a podcast from last night of somebody that I really genuinely don't connect with, right? Like 9 times out of 10, whatever they're thinking or saying, I'm like, oh, I'm the opposite. Somehow last night, spot on. And it's all the stuff that you and I have been talking about over the last week or so, the Trump picture and just, it's not that I didn't like the picture. It just wasn't in good taste. Right. But there are so many people that are still so closed-minded to an alternative point of view that they're still plugged in somehow to the matrix, Chaz. And those are the people that I pray for. Those are the people that I hope for. But at the same time, they're the ones that are the loudest critics, and they're the ones that say some of the silliest things.
Right.
Like I used something as an example a couple of days ago, and somebody in the comments just went off about how dumb I was because I used something as an example. But what they failed to listen to was the before and the after thought, because I wasn't using the example as my thought. I was just using the example to prove my point. But they zeroed in on the example.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you zeroed in on the wrong part of the whole thing. That was an example. That wasn't even my point. But I'm excited. I'm a little bit not worried, but I'm a little bit leery because.
Well, let me do this real quick. I got they're talking about there's a White House briefing going on. Don't mean to cut you off, big dog, but
no. I was just rolling. I'm afraid the lights are going to go off soon, Chaz.
Well, that's why I got to hurry up and do what I'm about to say, because You're right. You're 100% right what you're saying. Hey, in about 10 minutes, we're doing a radio check on the PPN International group. It's going to be on your Skycom radios for those that have already purchased. That you'll all automatically have that group in your radio, and you can go to skycomptt.com. They are sponsoring this next segment here on PPN for us today on the midday show, and it's very simple. It's pretty cool. All you gotta do is go to Shop Now, and once you click on Shop Now, it's going to take you to another page where you're going to see a PPN button. Taking a little bit to load up here. There it goes. Ding, ding, ding. I'm telling you, they're censoring us at every point. You'll see other radios here, but this is what you want to click on. Click on that PPN. Once you click on that PPN, it should take you to the following page. Hopefully, one day. Dang, man, they're messing with us hard. Yeah, there it is. So you can have your choice from a North American SIM card to a global. I suggest if you're out of the United States, getting a global, but it's only a $10 difference, to be honest with you, so it's not a big deal. Massively discounted. This has got the groups built into it. And that's all you have to do. And I'll go ahead and do it. Doing a radio check. This is Chaz. Who's out there? Come on.
Hey, Chaz, how you doing, man? Paul, New Jersey.
Hey, Paul. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Out here in Texas.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Texas, for checking in. Again, this is testing the PPN International and Groups Network. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. So you get the idea. Just realize we're going to be testing out on the international site.
Yeah, you're welcome. 800 miles from you, Burns County, New Jersey, on the Mullica River.
Heck yeah.
Thanks again. All right. So there you go. You need to get you some of this. You want to be off grid with us. That's what we're doing. We've got the network set up. The network is built. All you got to do is get the radio. There is no monthly fee. I think it's $39 for the whole freaking year to renew. So it's pretty tight. So there you go on that. So go check it out. If you got any questions about it, there's a number. And the customer service is off the freaking chain, by the way, and they'll help you all day long. So just know we've got it set up pretty good. All right. Enough with exchanges there. Let's get into it because we're going to start off with Turning Point USA. Oh, my goodness. Have you seen the falling out and just how the sheer numbers? I mean, this is anyway, I'll just play it real quick. Check this out.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me when he speaks on issues today. Frankly, even when I disagree with how he's applying particular principles. So the most obvious example is
wow. Remember when Charlie was in the house and that thing was just packed to up in the nosebleeds?
Yep. There are the University of Arkansas, Chaz, is changing their name. Like they have the college TPUSA group. They have changed their name and done away with TPUSA because they don't agree with their ideology and their Israel first mentality. And that's becoming more and more common all across the country, man. It's crazy.
Well, we knew this day was coming even more. Unvaccinated blood is now in very high demand. Now, this is what's up. They're having issues early on when people were doing blood transfusions. They ended up getting vaccinated blood put into them just like if they got the shot. Finally, they figured out what was going on. Everybody is trying to get the purest blood with none of that stuff in it. And guess what? Very rare. We are unicorns. Do you understand that? Just be careful going and giving plasma and things like that. You want to make sure that nothing or anything's ever been used prior. You just never know. It's a scary situation. But if you find the right people, I think they're going to offer you top dollar for your blood. Just saying, if you ever wanted to know that's the truth. But they are true blue vampires now looking for blood, pure blood. Yeah, listen to this. This is kind of crazy, but you already knew it.
You guys see this? Unvaccinated blood is now in very high demand. And what they're asking for is people with blood transfusions are asking for clean blood being unvaccinated blood. People are going to the doctors, and when they're doing blood transfusions and all these things, it's a high demand requesting the unvaccinated blood. They want clean blood. Who wouldn't? We were calling this during the pandemic that this was eventually going to be the case. So our unvaccinated blood, right, pure blood, was going to be the thing that was going to turn to gold. And now it looks like that's what's happening. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Is this the way for the future, or are we going to have to, no matter what, have vaccinated blood all over? And if you're unvaccinated like I am, would you take vaccinated blood in an emergency situation? That's a tough situation to be in. Tell you what, tough situation.
Wow. I mean, those are perspectives we have talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, here's depends on the situation. I think it all really depends on the situation. I don't think you can rule out just saying a flat out no. Because if you don't, then you die. But if you don't do the alternative, well, you might die later on.
Yeah, it's funny. As he was speaking, I mean, my immediate answer is no. But you're right. Well, what if you don't get that blood transfusion?
Family, you know?
Yeah. Man, part of me wants to go and draw my own blood and just figure out how to store it, for emergencies. But it's kind of like a bug out, location or something. It's only good if you can get to it, right? So you can have all the blood in the world, but if you can't get to it,
Well, I can go ahead and tell you on this next one, this is a total hell no, okay? Nokia's CEO says that by 2030, smartphones will be implanted directly into our bodies as a 6G becomes fully operational. Now, we heard Trump talking about the 6G before, and
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done, and now they're up to 6. Let's do it again. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is?
I like how they all laugh like that's a joke. You know what I mean? Like, kind
yeah,
of like when Bill Gates stood up in front of the World Economic Forum and said, if we really implement vaccine schedules and really push vaccines, we can reduce the population by 50%. And they all clapped. God, they're so dumb.
Yeah, that's never a good thing, is it? Oh man, it's kind of like whoever did the AI rendering of his Red Cross campaign kind of thing. All right, there we go. Finally. So we're going to be talking about ticks a good little bit today. A lot of folks came unglued saying, I don't see anything about what he's talking about in this. Well, I've been doing a deep dive. And this is what I told Dallas today over the phone. I was like, man, seeing all this stuff, it's right. It's the poor man's nuke. That's what they're calling this, the poor man's nuke. Check this out. And wait, there's more after this. And it's already starting to take place. When I did this on the morning show, and I talked briefly about it, Dallas, I had individuals in the different state groups coming out and saying, listen, this is kind of crazy that this is happening here. And I think they were talking about over in East Tennessee and Virginia area. So anyway, listen to this. It's going to be interesting.
They're also launching basically the next COVIDs, which is going to come in the form of ticks this time. Ticks that cause a rare, dangerous red meat allergy are spreading. What precautions can you take? That's interesting. Ticks that cause a red meat allergy. I could have sworn I heard that somewhere once at Davos.
So for example, I have milk intolerance, and some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Yeah, and they even had Tucker Carlson, who's controlled opposition, come out and tell you, because that's part of what controlled opposition does. They tell you some of the truth. They put it in your face. Most people won't even listen.
It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time, and they tried to stuff it in ticks. So what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, working on weaponizing fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of, this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke.
It's hard to digest all of this. It's just so evil. It's hard to believe it could happen in the United States. But I think you're right that it did and maybe still happening.
It's video one. Right? It's here's another one. We don't have to watch the whole freaking thing on this one, but if I can, here's another one. They will let me play it. Are they gonna play games with me? I'm telling you, I don't want you knowing about this. It's what they do. When have I ever had to go through these issues that you're seeing here on the screen? That's all right.
I just, I'm not, what's frustrating is when people think that you and I just make crap up off the top of our heads, like, the other day, literally they were losing their minds, right? just because we maybe. Oh, here we go.
No, that's I'm letting the other ones get started. This has to do with the gas. I'm gonna have to switch because they're not letting me show the rest of the tick videos. And here's another thing I want you guys to understand. It was hard grabbing these videos because I go back and I made it a point to bookmark some of this from the internet to keep up what's being taken off, what is staying. And I grabbed these in Dallas. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're taking them off left and right on the internet. Right? They don't want you knowing about this, and it's not everyone's fault because you don't know. Some people just don't know because of how quickly the censorship is. Censorship comes in all forms, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just being, the post being removed. It also goes into play with how many people are looking at a post. But check out this. This is about the gas. Everybody's having an issue with the gas. This guy.
How about that? The ethanol 15.
Yeah, check this out. Yeah,
maybe.
Well, that ain't going to work either. Never mind. Screw y'all. I'll just talk about it, then, mother freaker. All right. If it comes back to life, I'll let you know.
But, just to finish my thought, just because we bring something up that maybe you haven't seen or you haven't heard of before, okay. I mean, I learned something new almost every day. I learned about the fish being vaccinated. And somebody in the comments was like, oh, I watched that a year ago. Cool, man. It just came around in my brain, a week ago. And I found it absolutely disturbing because I knew they were doing the beef, and I knew they were doing the pork. I knew they were doing the chickens. Like, how on God's green earth do you inject a fish? Well, I learned, and that was baffling to me. I'm not a big fish guy. It doesn't make a difference to me. I just thought I would share it because I thought it was interesting. Well, just because you saw it a year ago, right? I mean, I see things that you haven't seen, and vice versa. But you don't hear me yelling and screaming. Like, just take the information, and again, if it resonates, then go dig into it. The ticks, I'm telling you, Chaz, I said this in the text earlier. This summer, we're going to see millions of Americans.
It's going to go into the dark winter, though. We've always talked about a really bad dark winter. You think about they get it in the summer, and then they go into winter, and with the changing temperatures, we see massive deaths.
And when their immune system crashes, as we go into the winter, all of a sudden they're going to have Lyme's disease, but they're going to have a new version that nobody's ever heard of. They can only
and that's what fixed. This is. I truly believe that's what is about to hit. And people are saying, man, that's fear porn, blah, 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 blah. Great. But watch what's about to happen because they've done it. And look, the government, our own government, just listen.
Lyme disease is a highly likely militarily engineered bioweapon.
I probably did say that.
Did you say that?
That's what the developer of
I want all of our colleagues to hear it, Mr. Kennedy. I want them to hear it. Did you say that exposure to pesticides?
Yes. Right?
But there's going to be, and it's not fear. Chaz, it's only fear mongering if it doesn't happen, right? You know what it is it's ringing the bell or sounding the alarm if what we say actually comes to fruition. And right now, you could go look it up. There are billions of ticks. Like there are reports from Florida all the way across the southern United States through Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, coming into Texas, up into Arkansas and across Kansas. There are reports of ticks and tick infestations and tick bites and issues that are skyrocketing. I mean, that we've never seen numbers like this ever. And we talked last week about them just dropping off boxes of ticks. They're like, oh no, those are tick traps. Well, yes, there are tick traps, but that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about farmers finding actual boxes full of ticks on their property that are being dispersed. And these ticks are infected, just like all the mosquitoes that Bill Gates launched in Florida 2 years ago. They were all infected with different diseases. We are going to see one of the worst tick seasons, and by default, you're going to see millions of people contract Lyme disease and this other one that makes you allergic to red meat. Excuse me.
Yep.
In record numbers. And then they're going to go get the Pfizer, the brand new Pfizer the Pfizer Lyme vaccine. And then they're going to die. You know what I mean? Then they're going to die. And it's not fear porn or fear mongering if we're just trying to warn you of what's to come, because that's happening right now as we speak.
I would load up is there any tick repellent? Is there any? I'm sure there is something out there, but I would look into that, no doubt. Hey, Thomas Massey originally posted this on July 31st of 2022. He reposted this today. Okay, his post from back then. Look at this: $3,200 of checks, $30,000 of debt, a wrecked economy, isolation from family, closed businesses, shortages, high prices, a vaccine that doesn't immunize you, medical tyranny, and dwindling savings due to inflation. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that's COVID, and this is COVID 2.0, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it's funny. We were talking about that Chinese ship that was the only one to go through and the strait, and now we had President Trump saying China's very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I'm doing it for them. Also in the world, this situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that beat fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting if we have to, far better than anyone else. President Donald J. Trump. Now, I can agree with that, of course. That's awesome, if that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about flip-flopping, man. Like, you know, we want the straits open. Oh, we're going to close the straits. Oh, you open them. We're going to close them. Now we're going to open it. And I mean, the words that he chooses, I don't know, man. I'm worried about our president, and not in a derogatory, like, I hate the guy way. Like, I am genuinely concerned about his well-being, because I mean, that tweet, my 9-year-old could write a better tweet than that as far as verbiage and the words that are chosen. But I don't know, man.
Well, at least it's not like Oregon. Have you heard what's going on? Oregon? Anybody watch this from Oregon in the chats? Yeah, I'd love to hear your insight on this. This is nuts. Oh my goodness. All you hunters and fishermen out there, yeah, this is for you. Okay, well, it was. See, they don't want me showing nothing. It's real, man. Anyway, in Oregon, they're pretty much banning you from being able to hunt altogether.
Yeah.
Okay. Son of a butt. What's going on? It is what it is.
There's another governor. Oh man, somewhere in the Midwest that is making it no longer a felony to knowingly spread HIV. It's been a law in the books for a decade or more, and he undid it yesterday or the day before, to where it's not a crime. You can knowingly go and spread AIDS to whoever you want.
Well, I'm going to tell you another part of censorship. This is what we're going to be talking about early on. I started the show.
Is that Illinois? Okay.
Oh my goodness. Social media harm lawsuit. Dallas, if we're out here on social media and we're telling everyone the craziness that's going on or whatever, and they so happen to hurt their feelings or it harms them in some emotional way, do you know they can go grab an attorney and sue you now if the law's put in place? And this nuts. Where's our free
that is
speech?
when you know that our society has reached rock bottom. When you can be so harmed by words from somebody else that you have no physical connection, relationship, knowledge, or any kind of connection to, you can be so harmed that you get to sue. Like our society has hit rock bottom, man.
Morgan and Morgan, you're welcome. Okay, because by the way, everyone's like, "Oh my God, is this true?" Yes. You ever gone down the interstate? I don't know if they do this in Texas with because Morgan and Morgan is the United States' biggest like injury law firm. Okay, and like if you're traveling down the interstate, you'll see something like Law Atlanta, or something, or Law, Lawsville, or something like that, and it's them all along the interstate. You'll see this.
They've become a sponsor of WWE Monday Night Raw.
There you go. Yes.
You can win WrestleMania tickets by going to their website.
There you go. But marketing, yes. Everyone knows who they are, yes. The main dude's a billionaire, and they've made it to where if you hurt somebody's feelings online, they can come after you and your family, Dallas. What's up with that? Not good. Not good at all. We're over here coughing, hanging on by a thread, right?
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I thought this was interesting, too. They started World War III, faked a mission to the moon, all done to distract us. They will continue to gaslight us with new investigations, testimonies, and new revelations where nothing will happen. No one will be held accountable, and they'll likely sacrifice a few to appease the many. And if that doesn't work, be prepared for the false flag events and attacks that they will blame on radical Islam to begin. The battle of good versus evil rages on. Mm-hmm. This was, Matt Murphy.
Yeah.
That's what they did because the Epstein files were that bad. Think about that for a second.
Well, and what's super interesting is, remember Melania's friend, and was married to the talent mogul that's friends with Trump, and they both came through. Melania and her came through, and she's the one that's kind of throwing Melania and Trump under the bus. Mm-hmm. Her husband, who had her deported, by the way, back to Brazil. Her husband works for Trump. Like he's been over in the Middle East trying to negotiate. He's not a politician. He's not a government official, but he's over there kind of like Kushner negotiating on our behalf. Like it's the whole thing is way more tied than anybody wants to admit. And whether Trump is guilty physically or not, he is 100% guilty of protecting his friends and hiding or burying the release of the real truth, and that to me is very disheartening.
That's a great segue. Speaking of Israel, look at the propaganda they're putting out. They're saying satellite. This is Israel Ham, their newsletter over there. Satellite images reveal Iran restoring its missile cities.
That picture didn't come from no satellite.
Yeah. There he is. I think that's the one they're claiming. Is there another?
But I'm telling you, Chaz, Iran is.
Really? I agree with you.
Wants us to believe that Iran is just this pile of like debris, and that their military has been completely destroyed. It isn't. Their military is completely fractional, based on design. Like each province, so each state in Iran has its own autonomous military that are all funded and have all the missiles they can shoot, right? But it would be like the United States having 50 independent militaries. Okay, maybe you take out Tennessee, but guess what? You got Florida, you got Texas, you got Alabama, you got Arkansas, you got it's they are far now. Are they hurting? Yes, they're losing billions of dollars a month in oil revenue with all of this chaos, but they're also cutting backdoor deals where they're still selling their oil. But I mean, it just I don't know. I guess it only makes sense to say that you're winning, if you're the winning team or the home team, but
yeah,
we are not kicking the crap out of Iran. I mean, we could, if we wanted to just go all in, we absolutely could, because I believe that our military is the biggest. Well, it's not the biggest, but our military is the most powerful and strongest military in the world. But we're not utilizing our entire military. We're utilizing missiles and planes. And Iran is a long way away from being defeated, in my personal opinion. But
this is what I was trying to pull up, and then we'll play one more good one. We'll end it with John Wick.
How many people have Lyme disease, including people we know? Where did Lyme disease come from? I can tell you with a high degree of probability, it came from Lab 257 on Plum Island, just outside of Connecticut, 25 miles from Lyme, Connecticut, where the first case was described. How do we know that? First of all, you can read the book Bitten, and it's a great book. When the Nazi war criminal doctors were executed in Nuremberg, at least one of them was spared and brought to the United States so that he could, his mind could be used by the U.S. military for so-called biodefense. And they put him on Plum Island. And he had said very openly that he believed an incredible form of biowarfare was infecting ticks. And that's what Lyme disease is. And then it shows up 25 miles away. And by the way, that's not the only thing that showed up close by. They found half rat, half deer carcasses on what's it called in the Hamptons, the last town, Montauk. Yeah, it washed up in Montauk. This is like in the 90s. What the hell's going on there? Again, a bunch of mad scientists doing things, and all these people have Lyme disease. How many physicians know that it came from Lab 257? That Lyme disease came from? Approximately 1%, right? Because these are things we are never honest with ourselves. That just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. And sometimes we can cause more harm than we can good.
Amen on that.
And that's our government releasing that on our population. It's not a foreign body, foreign government. It's our government. It's our military. Kind of like our military is still spraying the skies.
Right. Well, one could only wish for, if we were all envisioned to be John Wick. So John Wick finally gets the invite to the Epstein party. What we also would say, I think justice another way. Kind of get the idea. I could keep it going because we enjoy that kind of stuff, but maybe some people don't. But
yep.
It's kind of weird, especially if you're getting rid of the evil, that we deal with. But you know what? At the end of the day, guess what they need to do? They need to put up or shut up, ladies and gentlemen. As always, Dallas, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. See you tomorrow.
God bless. See ya. Another one in the box, folks. Appreciate everyone tuning in as you always do. Man, it's going to get tight. As we approach with more inflation, more of the same. It's not being fear-mongering or fear-porn. It's reality, okay? Everyone is hurting right now completely. We found a way to be able to cut the bleeding off, so to speak, financially. And if you're interested and you have a mindset of wanting more in terms of abundance in your life financially, then Save Patriot Project is for you. Text your first and last name to 877-776-6391. We're going to be screening folks to see if they meet our qualifications, and because we want to help you. But you got to be willing to want to help yourself as well. You'll be contacted in the next 48 hours. Again, text 877-776-6391 right now, and we'll get to you within 48 hours. God bless the Republic of the United States of America. And God bless you, patriots. Without you folks, there is no America or world for that matter. Take care. See you. Hi there, I'm Chaz Carter. Welcome to Patriot Chute. If you're looking for a censorship-free platform where you can freely express your thoughts and connect with like-minded individuals, then you're in the right place. At Patriot Chute, we offer more than just a membership. For just $8.99 per month, we provide you with daily intel, weekly giveaways, and access to our exclusive voice chat platform called Patriot Talk, where we have somewhere between 200 to 400 active members just on that alone, discussing a wide range of topics every single day. You'll gain access to our state groups where you can connect with members in your states at a grassroots level. Our community is all about open dialogue and sharing valuable information without the fear of being silenced. Whether it's discussing current events, giving advice, or personal matters, or simply connecting with others on Patriot Chute, it is the place to be. So what are you waiting for? Join us today. Experience the freedom of speech and just fill out the form below and get started. We cannot wait to have you here with us, and welcome aboard.